20 Days with Julian and Little Bunny by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Read by Frank Blissett. August 15th, Friday. We did not get up till 7 o'clock this morning. It was very clear and of autumnal freshness, with a breeze from the northwest. I put a knit jacket on the old gentleman when we went for the milk, but I fear his poor little bare legs, in the intervals between his stockings and drawers, must have felt rather bleak. However, he trudged along in brisk spirits, and tumbled down 3 times in the course of the walk. On our way home, we met 3 ladies on horseback, attended by a gentleman, and the little man asked me whether I thought the ladies pretty, and said that he did not. They really were rather pretty, in my opinion, but I suspect that their appearance on horseback did not suit his taste, and I agree with him that a woman is a disagreeable spectacle in such an attitude. But the old boy is very critical in matters of beauty, although I think that the real ground of his censures usually lies in some wrong done to his sense of fitness and propriety. But this sense is sometimes conventional with him. For instance, he denied that the Quaker lady who called on me was pretty, and it turned out that he did not like the unaccustomed fashion of her dress and her these and thous. At 10 o'clock we set out on a walk towards the lake. All the way, and during the whole excursion, Julian was full of giant despair, and attributed all his mishaps to that malevolent personage. He happened to tread in some fresh cow mud, as Una calls it, and he said that the giant had made it there so as to trouble him. When we came to the open part of Shadow Brook, I lay down on the bank, fully exposed to the sun, and basked there, with a pleasant sense of too much warmth, while sometimes a breath of wind would find its way there and refresh me with its austerity. And here I smoked a cigar, partly here and partly on the shore of the lake. It is a perfect forenoon of its kind, only it comes just about a month too soon. Julian fished, as usual, in the lake, and afterwards threw stones in it, and seemed never to be weary of haunting its margins, any more than a kingfisher which we often see there, flitting from one decayed branch to another. But I grew tired after a while, and insisted on returning home, whither we arrived at precisely noon. It is now 4:30. We have made no other excursion today, but have loitered in and about the house. Julian does not appear to have any imminent impression of his mother's coming, though once or twice he has said what a good day it was for her to come. Perhaps she is by this time in the village. I feel as if she were coming, but after previous disappointments I do not look upon it as a certainty. Julian, by and by, seems perfectly cool, but I must say his hair has taken a worse aspect today than any time during her absence, and yet I frizzled it as carefully as I could. He has on his knit woolen jacket, too, which disfigures him horribly, but he will not be persuaded to dispense with it, so his mother, I suppose, will think he has been looking like a fright ever since she went away. Bunny is evidently out of order. He appeared to be indisposed yesterday, and is still more evidently so today. He has just had a shivering fit. Julian thinks he has the scarlet fever, that being the only disease with which he has ever been conversant. Mr. Ward has just been here at 5:30, expecting to find Phoebe had arrived yesterday. This heightens the mystery. EPP wrote me that he would escort her on Wednesday. He was prevented from coming on that day, but supposed that she would have come with Mrs. Minot on Thursday. Where can she be? I put Julian to bed very soon after supper, and immediately set out for the village. Still no letter from Sophia. I think she must have been under some mistake as to Mr. Ward's movements, and has waited in expectation of his escort. There was a great box directed to me at the post office, which probably contains her Boston purchases. Returning home, I spent the evening in reading newspapers. In one of them, the New York Evening Post, I saw an account of the commencement at the Wesleyan University, Middletown, Connecticut, and one of the baccalaureate exercises was a modern classical oration by Edwin Halsey, late of Cromwell, on myself. I don't quite understand the nature of the performance and whether it was in Latin or the vernacular, but I should have been curious to hear it. To bed, disconsolate, at a little before 10. That was 20 Days with Julian and Little Bunny, August 15th, 1851, by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Read by Frank Blissett.